All right, so we've got God's yes was louder than my no, rethinking the African American call to ministry. So obviously, you can see this is a little bit of a weird book for me to read. I am weird, so I read weird books that don't someone like me isn't supposed to read or whatever. I was actually drawn to this book, so I read this book, Bonhoeffer, by Eric Metaxas, and in the book he talks about how Bonhoeffer was involved in the plot to kill Hitler. He was a pastor who was involved in the plot to kill Hitler, extremely close to Jesus, had an extremely deep understanding of Jesus, and he was involved in the plot to kill Hitler. Obviously, that was unsuccessful, and he ended up being executed by the Nazis. So I read this book. In this book, he talks about how he came to the U.S. for a period of time, and he was living in New York, and he went to an African American church in Harlem. I forget the name of it, but he was blown away and was talking about how, the African American church they were on a next level vibe. He felt they had a deeper connection to Jesus than the white church. There was just an energy about it. And I was like, okay, you know what? That does make sense. And then I forget exactly how I came across this book, but I was at a point in my life, I was at a very low point where I was just open, and I'm just like, am I running from something? I don't even know. And then I read I don't remember how I found out about it, but it was like the author, the vibe is basically the author was, he was called into the ministry, and he basically ran from his calling until, he had to answer it. And I was like, okay, am I doing that? So I read this book, and honestly, my favorite part about the book is it actually it caused me to reflect on my life. It caused me to think back. I don't want to say it brought back repressed memories, but memories of childhood started to come back in. And in a way, I feel like I started to connect with myself again, connect with Jesus. And, I just thought it was an interesting book. So, yeah, highly recommend it.